Myself Rahul Kushma from SS Institute of Management Studies. Today my topic is a stock market. What is a stock market? I would like to define myself a stock market. A stock market is a equity market or a share market. It is the aggregation of buyer and seller of stocks, also called as shares, which represent the ownership's claims on business. They may include a securities listed on public stock exchange as well as stock that is only traded privately, such as share of private companies which are sold to investors through equity crowdfunding platform. Investment in the stock market is most often done via stock brokerage and electronic trading platform. Investment is usually made with the investment strategy in mind. History. In 12th century, France, the courtier de change were concerned with managing and regulating the debts of agricultural communities on behalf of the bank. Because these men are also traded with the debts, they could be called the first brokers. The Italian historian Lodovico Guccione described how in later 19th century brokers commodity traders gathered outdoor at a market square containing in owned by a family called Van der Boers. In 1409, they became a Boers institutionally what had been until they had informed a meeting. The idea, the idea quickly spread around the Flanders and neighboring countries, and Bourgeon soon opened again and Rothschild international traders, and especially the Italian bankers. In Bruxelles, the early 13th century took place the word in their country to define the place of the stock market exchange. First Italian Borsa, but soon the French, the Germany, Russians, Swedes, Danes, Norway, the most languages of the world coincides with that of money being bank dating from the Latin Bursa, from which obviously derived the name of Vendu Bursa family. In the middle of the 13th century, Vietnam bankers began to trade in government securities. In 1319, in 1351, Vietnam government outlawed spreading rumored intent to lower the price of the government fund. Banker with a paisa, Giona and Florence also began trading in government exchange security during the 14th century. This was only the possible because these independent city-states not ruled by a duke, but a council of influential citizen. Italian company were also the first to issue their shares. Companies in England and the Low Countries followed in the 16th century. Around this time, a joint stock company, one which whose stock is owned jointly by the shareholder, emerged and became important for the colonization of what Europeans called the New World. Size of the market. The total market capitalization of publicly traded security for worldwide rose from US 2.5 trillion in 1980 to US 93.7 trillion into the end of 2020. As of the 2016, there are 60 stock exchanges in the world of this. There are 16 exchanges with a market capitalization of 1 trillion or more, and they account of 87% of the global market capitalization. Apart from the Australian Security Exchange, these 16 exchanges are all are in North America, Europe, or Asia. By country, the largest stock market as of January 2021 are in the USA about a 55.9%, followed by Japan about a 7.4%, and China about a 5.4%. Importance of a stock market. Even in a day before a presley socialism was never been monetized. With the communist country with the spectrum of socialization range from the quasi market quasi India system Yugoslavia to the centralized neighboring Albania. One time I asked a professor of research to great expert to the economic of socialism what points of the spectrum of strategy should be designated country as socialist or not. That time I wasn't sure that the definite creation existed to market that a sort of larger judgment, and so I was pleasant surprised at the clarity of derivative of Miss answer. A stock market, he answered prominently. A stock market is a crucial to the existence of capitalism of private property, for it means that there is a functioning of market in exchange of private status to means the production. There can be a no genuine private ownership of the capital without a stock market. There can be no true socialism if such stock is allowed to exist. Function and purpose. The stock market is one of the most important ways of company to raise money along with the debt market, which are generally more imposing by but not publicly. This allows publicly to be publicly traded and there is a additional financial capital and for expansion by selling share of ownership of that company in the public market. The liquidity data and exchange effort the investor enable their holders to quickly and easily to sell a security. These are the attractive features of investing in stock compared to the less liquid investments such as property and other immovable assets. History has chosen that the price of the stock and the other assets in an important part of dynamic of economic activities and influence or a been indicator of social mood. An economic where the stock market is an often considered the primary indicator of country economic strength and development. Rising a share price, for instance, to be associated with the increased business investment and the vice versa. Share price also affected with the health of a household and their consumption. Therefore, the central bank need to keep an eye on the control and the behavior of the stock market. And in general, on the smooth operation and on the financial system function. Financial stability is the range of decision of the central bank. All through also exchange act as a clearing house for each transaction, meaning that they collected and delivered the share and the guarantee payment. The seller of a security. This element the risk to an individual buyer and the seller to the counterpart and the default of the transaction. The smooth functioning of all this activity facilitates economic growth in at a lower cost and enterprise ethics promote the production of goods service as well as a possible employment. In this way, the financial system is assumed to contribute to increase the prosperity. Also, some controversy exists with whether the optimal financial system is bank based or market based. Recent events such as global financial crisis have promoted the heightened degree of security of the impact of the structure of stock market microstructure, in particular to stability of the financial structure and transmission of system. Demographic and market participant indirect and a direct investment. Indirect investment involves owning a share indirectly, such as mutual of an exchange trade funds. Direct investment involves a direct ownership of shares. Direct ownership of stock by an individual's close was slightly from 70.8% of in 1992 to 70.9% in 2007, with the median value of this holding rising from 14,778 to $17,000. Indirect participation in the form of retirement account rose from 39.3% to 52.6% in 2000, with the median value of this account more than doubling 22,000 to 45,000 in that time. Participation of income in a wealth strata. Rates of participation and the value of holding differ significantly across strata income. In the bottom point, the income 5.5% of the stakes. The whole stocks in the platform and retirement under top decline income has a direct participation rate 47.5% and the indirect participation rate in the form of retirement accounts 86. The median value of the directly owned stock to the bottom quintile of income for $4,000 and 78,600 top decline in 2007. Since the greater restriction in 2008, household in the bottom of half of the income distribution result participation both directly and indirectly 53.2% in 2007 to 58.8% in 2013. With the same period of the household on the top of the decile slightly increased the participation 1.7% to 92.1%. The mean value of the direct and indirect holding at the bottom half of the income distribution move slightly downward of the 53,800 in 2007. The top decline mean value of the holding fell from 98,200. This means the value of a stock holding across the entire income distribution is the value of $2,69,900 at the act of 2013. Participation of race and gender. The racial composition of stock market ownership shows a household and headed by the whites nearly 4 and 6 times likely to discover the stock in household. 2011, the national rate of the direct participation was 19.6% for the White House. Participation rate was 24.5% black household. For up now 4.3 indirect participant in the 40k ownerships and a similar pattern with the national participation of 42.1% rate of 46.4% the household. 31.7% of black households, the Spencer households are independently married couples participated rate above the national average with a 25.6%. Directly under 53.4% participated indirectly through the descendant of the 2.7% of the household headed by the participant in the market directed. 23.4% owned by the retirement account and 12.6% female headed household directly owned stock. 28.7% owned stock indirectly. Crash. A stock market crash is often defined as a sharp dip in shape, a dip share in the price of stock listed of the stock exchange in panel with the various economic factors. A reason for the stock market crash is also due to a panic investment, public losses of confidence. There have been a famous stock market crashes that have ended in the loss of billions of dollars and wealth destruction on a massive scale. An increase in the number of people are involved in the stock market, especially since the social legal security and the retirement plans are being increased, privatized, and linked to stock and bond and other market crashes. The Wall Street crash in 1929, stock market crash in 1973, Black Monday of 1987, the dot-com bubble 2000, and stock market crash in 2008, 1929. One of the most famous stock market crash started on October 24, 1929. Black Thursday, the Dow Jones Industrial Index average lost 50% during the stock market crash. It was the beginning of the Great Depression. In 1987, another famous crash took place on October 1987, Black Monday. By the end of October, stock market is in Hong Kong and fall 45.5%, Australia 41.8%, Spain 31%, UK 26.4%, US 32, Canada 22.5%. Black Monday served the largest one-day percentage decline in the stock market history. The Dow Jones fall 22.6% in India in a day. Then Black Monday and Black Tuesday were also used for the 28, 29, and 29 were terrible Thursday, the starting end of the stock market crash in 1929. 2007 and 2006. 9. This market the beginning of recession starting in 2007 and lasting in 2009. Financial market experienced one of the space sharper decline in decade. I was more widespread than just a stock market as well. The housing market, lending a market, in a global trade experienced unimaginable decline. This was a bank and a major financial institution completely failed in the many disease. A major take government intervention in the immediate period of October 2007 to 2009. 20. The 2020 market test as a major in a sudden global stock market test began on 25 2020 and ended on 7 April. I would like to conclude myself as an increase in stock price and causing an increase in the wealth and consequently an increase in the stock spending. Investment is also affected by high price. With the higher stock price, a firm can raise more money per share to the financial investment projects. Thank you.